So my name's Rachel. I've had autoimmune diseases for about 30 years, since I was about 15, mainly a kind of lupus type, mixed connective tissue disease, but then also gone on to develop things like anaphylactic shock, endometriosis, bowel and bladder diseases, circulation disease, so quite a mix of different autoimmune diseases and different sensitivities. Right now I've developed an extreme sensitivity to mobile phone masts, mobiles, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, so all the microwave radiation, which is pretty much nearly everywhere at the moment. So it's causing a lot of acute symptoms. The worst being it's affecting my heart and sending me into heart arrhythmia. Because I've developed severe electromagnetic sensitivity, my health and my life is now in crisis. It was a couple of years ago, I just suddenly became very unwell, shaking, sweating, only sleeping about an hour a night. So I've just come back to show you what the levels are like in my house. I can't stay in it for more than about 10-15 minutes without being quite badly affected. So this is a housing association property I've lived in for 19 years and have been fine up until the last couple of years when all the mast levels around here have gone up much, much higher. The masts at the back of me had gone from 2G to 4G, and then from that point on I seemed to be severely electromagnetically sensitive, so I couldn't use my mobile. I noticed around Wi-Fi's I just felt my energy would just drain, and then a year ago it became a lot worse for me with like tremor sort of sensations and some heart palpitations. I'm starting to get a bit shaky and my ears are ringing. They're really painful ears. And if I stay longer, then that's when then the heart symptoms kick off. My speech was slurred sometimes. This heart arrhythmia, I could feel my heart moving around all over the place, peeing maybe 25-30 times a day, almost constant diarrhea, shaking. Okay. A friend took me to see a medical doctor who specialised in electromagnetic sensitivity, who gave me a diagnosis and said he'd never seen anybody at this point so badly affected. So the home that I've lived in for 19 years, although I don't own it, it's a very sweet housing association property, and I've got neighbours' Wi-Fi, smart telly. Because it's a small property, it's so close to the other properties, you can get 8 BT hubs in my lounge, you can pick up a couple of people's smart tellies, so it's very, very high levels. It's really sad that, you know, I've got a lovely place to be in and I can't live there. So during the spring and the summer I was able to camp in the woods. It was the only place by going into the woods that it stopped the heart symptoms. I was in constant arrhythmia, and one of the specialist doctors in electromagnetic sensitivity said I could have a heart attack at any time. It's been really scary as a woman, a single woman. I've not camped before, especially with having lots of other health issues and arthritis. So actually just pitching a tent in random bits of woods by myself has been really scary. Sometimes I've needed to, the only access I've had to washing is to wash in the sea or to wash in streams when I was staying in Wales. Sometimes I've not had access to being able to cook hot food, so it's either making fires or eating cold food. So it's been really harsh, especially when I'm dealing with bladder disease, bowel disease. I mean, I never imagined I'd be able to do what I've done, but when your life's on the line, you know, somehow you do. But now, as the weather's turning, I'm really struggling to cope, to find a way to manage. So when I try and tell people I have this condition, a lot of people immediately assume that I'm mad or psychotic, or that I could just think more positively, or use some sort of meditation, and then I wouldn't be affected. Whereas, you can see on a meter it is a form of microwave radiation, and it's not surprising that people like me with weak immune systems are potentially being more affected. So this week I've been sleeping here in this summer house at the end of someone's garden where the levels aren't so high. So this is a special canopy that's got a silver mesh in it that blocks any of the microwave radiation. If I sleep under the netted canopy, it's cutting all the levels. It just got way too damp to be camping, that all the bedding was kind of growing mould, and my chest was getting really affected by the damp. So very kindly this couple have let me stay in the summer house at the end of the garden. It is dry in here, it is very cold at night. We're going into autumn, so obviously the weather's turning. And I don't know where I'm going to be next week. I feel like in a way that I'm living in squalor. I mean, I'm really grateful that these people have let me stay, but it's like, sleeping on a hard floor, and not having heat, and not having easy access to kind of like a bathroom. I just kind of wonder what's become of my life, and what on earth, I'm just so shocked all this is happening, really. Yeah, it just feels really rough going, especially as the weather's changing, it's getting colder and damper. So the last 2 years have been very socially isolating. This stuff is everywhere. So in most friends' homes, people have got mobiles, deck phones, Wi-Fi. A lot of people aren't willing to turn it off. Like meditation groups I used to go to, social groups, being able to go into the library, a pub. All these things have kind of just been out for me in the last 2 years. So it's been incredibly socially isolating. The problem with this thing is that it's not very breathable. So I've been to the local papers, I've contacted the MP, I've got letters from the doctor saying I urgently need a house transfer. The Housing Association have given me the lowest priority. I've re-appealed to them. I've tried looking for communities off-grid I could stay with. I've just, every option that I've looked at, I don't know what else to do really. I have gone through the medical loop, the Housing Association loop. So there isn't a clear cure for electromagnetic sensitivity at the moment, but the feedback from people who have made a recovery is that they've spent a period of time completely away from mast signals and mobiles and Wi-Fi, and then the body has gone into a recovery. So that's what seems the most optimistic option currently. So I'm raising funds predominantly right now for a camper van or some sort of van that I can shield, so at least I have somewhere safe that I can sleep. So I'm very open to going somewhere warmer and drier just to get through the cold and the damp. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's contributed to the crowdfunding already. It's been very touching. I mean, I've even had small donations from people I don't even know who they are. So it's these kind of moments of little touches of kindness that have kind of kept me going when sometimes I feel like I don't know how to do this anymore. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listened to this story and been kind of open-hearted enough to receive what I'm saying.